Hello, welcome to Cable Plus Property, your #1 online educative platform on all issues related to land and landed properties. This is where we provide easy access to all Nigerians and non-Nigerians for every information related to land and landed properties. We make sure that you have the right information and knowledge on building construction, documentation, registering your property, and obtaining planning permit. My name is Oiza, and it's always a pleasure to be here on the show. In this video, I have with me Oba, the Adeboruwa of Igbogbo Kingdom, a land professional of law. He is the one and only Kabiyesi Oba Semiudeen Orimadegun Kasali. Come with me. Kabiyesi Oba Semiudeen Orimadegun Kasali was born on the 20th of October 1968 in Lagos at Ebute Metta. He attended United Native African Church School in Odunfa Street, Ebute Metta, for his primary school education. He then attended Dental Grammar School, Ebute Metta, between 1980 and 1985, where he also proceeded to St. Gregory College, Obalende, Lagos, for his advanced level education. He gained admission to the University of Ibadan to study law in 1990 and 1991 and graduated in 1997 due to disruption in the academic calendar. Oba Kasali thereafter proceeded to the Nigerian Law School and was among the last batch in Lagos before the opening of the Abuja campus. He was among the first set to be called to bar at Abuja in 1998. He did his National Youth Service Corps NYSC in Bayelsa State in 1999 and returned to Lagos to join the law firm of Pinheiro and Oguntade between 1990 and 2000. While in the chamber of Pinheiro and Oguntade Company, he went further in academic pursuit and proceeded to Ile-Ife Obafemi Awolowo University in Osun State in 2000 for his postgraduate degree in law. He graduated in the year 2001. That same year, he joined the services of the Lagos State government, where he was employed as the counsel in the Ministry of Justice. He rose up in the ladder and got to the position of Chief State Counsel before he was called to serve his fatherland as the Oba Adeboruwa of Igbogbo Kingdom. It may interest you to know that Kabiyesi Oba Kasali, who also doubles as a Barrister of Law, has served as the State Counsel to the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. In fact, he was one of the committee members that drafted the planning regulation that is being used presently. I mean, it's going to be an interesting conversation. I know that you can't wait because I can't either. Join me as I speak with the Oba Adeboruwa of Igbogbo Kingdom, Oba Kabiyesi Semiudeen Kasali. Good day, sir. I mean, it's an honor to have you on the show. I'm highly honored. Kabiyesi, good to have you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And it's a special episode. It's a special show today because today we're celebrating the birthday of the dear governor of Lagos State. That's Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. I know you have a lot of wishes for him, sir.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome, sir.
Let me quickly use this opportunity to extend on behalf of the entire Igbogbo community sincere gratitude to God for sparing the life of our indefatigable governor up to today. Today is his day. A lot of people are wishing him well. We want to join the millions of his well-wishers to say a very happy birthday to Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. We want to say that we appreciate all he has been doing, and we want to use this opportunity to encourage him to continue to do more. So that we can take the Lagos State to the next level.
And I'm sure that the people of Igbogbo Kingdom, of which you are the king, are ready to also work with the governor to achieve the dream.
We are set, we are working already, we will continue to work with him. He is very dear to us. He has a lot, we are still going to say a lot about him.
Okay, sir. All right. So Kabiyesi, kindly enlighten the viewers on the meaning of law. Why did you choose to study law particularly?
Thank you very much for having me. That question is to me is a loaded one. let me just say that regarding why I choose to study law, I would say it is by a coincidence. That ordinarily, what I had planned to venture is to study political science as a course, because I like discussing international issues, either political science, international relations. But as fate will have it, an uncle came, who is not a lawyer, convinced me that, okay, you cannot, how can everybody be studying political science? Your elder brother studied political science. You equally want to study political science. Why not just consider? And I choose to, let me go for law. And today, we have cause to thank God for making it a reality. That's by the way. And you said I should explain to our people what is law.
Yes.
Okay. I will not, because this is a special show, and you are dealing with people, you want to make them understand, speak the language that people will understand better. So there's no point going into academics about it, because going by the proposition of one of our dear professor of law, who is late now, the late Professor A.A. Okuniga, of blessed memory. He died in 1986. And he said, in one of his inaugural lecture, in his inaugural lecture, he said, nobody, including the lawyer, has offered, that nobody, including a lawyer, is offering, that nobody, including a lawyer, will ever be able to offer a definition of law that will, that will settle the controversy regarding what the definition of law should be. So on that note, I would just want to appeal to our people to just know that, okay, when we say law, it means a body of rules, regulations that we all know, that we all believe, that is needed within our community to regulate the way we relate with ourselves. So if we have that knowledge, we can begin to approach what we believe what the law should be. So it's just a body of regulation, what we need in a reasonable society, because the law itself is central to the existence of human being. Where we have law and we have adherence to the law, it makes life of human being, worthwhile. Because where there is no law, you can imagine what will happen. And as everybody will be living in what some people regard as a state of nature, where life is brutish, life and short. In other words, a society where there's no law, it means you can imagine what will happen in such society.
Yeah.
So for all of us, I believe now it is not something that we should be dragging. It is something that everybody knows. Okay. Even a toddler will tell you, we know that my daddy said I shouldn't move to that side. It means that your daddy is telling you that, there's a rule. The rule is that you must not do that, If you do it, there's a consequence. So the law, in the simple terms, is, what we all agree that we should look forward to as regulating the way and manner we interrelate in the society.
I'm so glad, sir, that you mentioned the word rule. And that leads me to the next question. What is the meaning of rule of law when you say, because lawyers say it a lot, when you say rule of law, what does it mean? And then particularly rule of planning law.
Thank you. Without going into academics, we want to talk about rule of law. We may not live here today.
Okay.
Yeah. So limiting it to what we want to achieve on this show. I would say rule of law is for the benefit of our people here, just the supremacy of law. So, and for us to, what are the principles, what are the things that must exist, for us to have a rule of law in any society. We want to talk about independent judiciary. We want to talk about certainty of law. We want to talk about the supremacy of law. We want to talk about equality of law, everybody before the law. And we want to talk about the existence of freedom of citizen, every citizen's right to freedom of self determination. You want to whatever you want to do. You have a freedom, but there's a limit to what extent you can exercise that freedom. So, but in any society where there must be a freedom for any citizen, but where the rule of law will now come in, in you exercising that right. So there's a limit to it, and how you want to exercise it that it will now affect any other members of the society. So that's it. And you now talk about rule of planning law. It's very straightforward. The rule of planning law is there. Simply put, is saying that almost what I have said about what is the rule of law, what is law, where you have the rules. What is the purpose of putting the rules in place is to regulate. The planning law rules is there to regulate how people must, at every point comply with the planning law in any given society. Like in Lagos State, we have a Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning Law, Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law, 2020 as amended. And we have so many other laws made pursuant to that law. I mean regulations. They have the physical planning regulations has been regulating the activities of the Lagos State Building Control Agency. We have regulations regarding preparation of model city. We have every other ones geared towards ensuring a livable society in Lagos State. So those are everything bring together that we say we have in Lagos State the rules of planning.
So from your explanation, sir, it already shows that this set of rules are there to be obeyed.
So
if perhaps it is disobeyed, what are the consequences and how grave, or what are the nature of these consequences?
And like I said, where there is no law, there is no consequence. But where there is law, there is always a consequence. Law is there to be obeyed. And the purpose of having it is for us to have a livable society. Anybody that fails to comply with law wants to make our society not livable. And it is the aims of everybody to live in a peaceful environment, to live together in a peaceful atmosphere. So there must be consequence. So if somebody chooses to violate the law, definitely the person must be ready to bear the consequences as may be laid out in the laws. So the consequence is just one, to correct, and two, to sanction people, because some people may choose to be recalcitrant. So in trying to be in that, working in that approach, the government will not sit back and allow people to take laws into their hands and do things the way they like. So basically, the consequence of disobedience is to correct people, make people understand that it is better for us to all have a focus and to achieve a better environment.
We'll go on a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Cable Plus Property, the hub of professionals in the built environment and the #1 online educative platform on all issues related to land and landed property. At Cable Plus Property, our aim is to ensure that all Nigerians and non-Nigerians have at the tip of your fingers, free of charge, all information on landed matters. We provide you with all information you need to know about land procurement, land documentation and development, planning permit procurement, building construction, and so on. Join us today for free by subscribing to our YouTube channel, like and follow us on our social media platforms, and check us on our website www.cableplusproperty.com. Together, we shall make our environment better. Spend and build right.
Hi, welcome back. It's still the Cable Plus Property Show, and I still have with me Oba Semiudeen Kasali. So what is the rationale behind the statement, innocent until proven guilty? Is it applicable to all situations where law is being infringed upon?
Yes, that question relates more into the realm of the criminal law. That a person is not pronounced as being guilty of an offense until it is established or proven beyond reasonable doubt. But in a civil matter, like we are discussing, there are some elements of actions of people that will fall, even as we want to see it as being a civil matter, you can begin to see issue of criminality in it. At times it mixed together. But on government side, at times we want to, because people will, when we are dealing with a violation of planning, a lot of people will rush to court. And once the matter is in court, well, we want to subject ourselves to, the jurisdiction of court. Let the court determines whether what we have done, we have heard or not. But that is not enough, because at times you will look at it and you discover that even as at the time the matter is, you see some element of criminality that you want to still want this person to be prosecuted for certain things that you have discovered. Because where you discover that somebody procure a fake documentation and is presenting it to the whole world that he has gotten a document to back up whatever he's doing, that has to be established by the police, who are constitutionally empowered to do that. So in doing that, that's the area of criminal. But you see, for civil one that we are in court, we want to see how we can establish that, on the elements of maybe probabilities that, let's see. The court will look at it. Yes, you said your building was demolished, or your building was partially topped, and you want to challenge, or your building was sealed, and you don't understand why it has to be there, and you were not served with notices. All these things, everything put together, it behoves on the state to come and establish that, in our approach to his property, we have done this, we have done that as required by law. So as far as we are concerned, we are in compliance with the law. regarding our action in relation to that property. But the court will look at its own defense. I mean, that's our defense, the government defense. But for the person that have highlighted, the court will now look at everything together and come to a conclusion. So that is in the area of civil, where we want to say that most times it goes to what because you leave the foundation when you ask about the rule, the question about the rule of law.
Yeah.
So we want to establish the supremacy of law. And the court, in doing that, as an independent arbiter, will want to look at it critically and see how to arrive at justice of the matter. So the best way to go about it.
So I'd like to tap your perspective as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Now, in the Nigerian society, you hear people, especially on social media, talk about how the police would arrest a person and then say they are carrying out investigations. How does this relate with the statement earlier, innocent until proven guilty? Would you say that is that action is according to the law? What kind of crimes or situations or offenses would warrant the officers to do that? And, you know, they can prove that what they've done is right.
You see, that question is a loaded one.
Okay.
I won't be able to. But simply put, the police are constitutionally, empowered to perform their duty. And part of the way of, performing their role in the society is to make arrests whenever it is necessary. And when making arrests, there may be need for them to carry out investigation of whatever might have arisen leading to the arrest of the person in their care. But it is part of it. It behoves on them to carry out due investigation before putting a person before the court. So it all goes together. So they must be able to establish a case against the person. It's not a matter of just arresting somebody. You don't arrest without any cause. So you arrest because you have a cause. And in the purpose, when you arrest, so there's a limit to the time you can detain somebody. So that is part of those are the rules that are already in place. So in doing that, they must be very careful to be in compliance with the law, and in most cases, you see, the law still permit them to approach court when they feel that the time is running out against them for them to be able to detain somebody. So they will approach the court and they get due order to still detain the person further so that they can be able to carry out the investigation of the matter. So it is still part of it. They must be able to establish a case against somebody, and before they can say the person is guilty. So, but the cause is there to protect the rights of both the police and the person that being accused as being a violator of any law.
Thank you for that, sir. In physical development, most people violate or do not even comply with planning laws. How applicable is this principle in such a situation? That's the principle of innocent until proven guilty. Does it still apply in such situations?
Yes, very well. My approach to that, because while in government, we believe our officers will go out, we believe the state will do the needful. The relevant ministry agencies must do the needful to educate people on what is expected of them regarding the operation of the ministry. As a council, when there's any complaint or there's any case arising out of such action, what we do rely on is the information that will be provided by our officers, and we'll go all out and do our best. Regarding the question, I would still expect that we still have a lot to do, because a lot of people still believe that once they have a land, they can just go there and start building. Some people still don't even know the difference between having a survey plan and a building plan. They cannot distinguish. Some people still don't even believe, they don't know that even survey plan, it must be registered at a relevant a government body set up for that purpose. And we have a lot of documentation flying around prepared by trainee, people who are just attached to a professional. We have a trainee architect, we have people calling themselves as a surveyor, but he's a trainee. But he's presenting himself to the whole world as a surveyor. You see a drafter who is calling himself as an architect. So we have a lot of complications there. But my approach to that is that where I will continue to appeal to government to come all out again. And let us continue to remind our people, let us continue to educate them on what is expected of them regarding all this documentation on planning matters in the state. Because a lot of people are falling prey to quacks. And it's so sad. And there's nothing the government can do. When they fall prey and there's need for government to take action, they will take it. And nobody will question.
So the government would not consider the fact that the people probably aren't aware or don't know what to do? Let me correct that because it is not a general thing. Because we have some people who still believe they can just go ahead and do whatever they want, irrespective of the fact that they know that they must get the right documentation. It is not in all cases. But for me, in this capacity, as now a traditional ruler, I will want the government to explore the traditional institution. Because we are closest to the grassroots. Let them partner with us. Well, we see it as part of our responsibility. For me, I don't need to be told. Any slightest opportunity I have always been telling my people that you must follow the law. In your complaint against government, if law is not on your side, I am not going to cover you up. So I will encourage people, as a person that have been privileged to be exposed to all these things, to tell my people to always do the needful, do due diligence before whatever they want to do. So yes, in our society, we have people who want to test the will of government. And in doing that, they face the consequence. So I will only say that we should just explore that opportunity. Let us continue to remind them. Let us continue to educate them that it's better for us to have an environment that is well planned, that devoid of people who all want to disobey the law at any given time. Thank you, sir. Finally, sir, I would like you to say something about the Cable Plus Property Company and also give a little piece of advice.
Yes, I want to commend the management of Cable Plus Property Communication Network. It's been a very nice way of reaching out to our people to know their rights regarding properties and planning generally. It's an innovation that I will want to plead with the management to continue to improve on it so that we're just starting. My prayer is that you will not stop midway.
Amen.
The company will continue to work stronger. The staff will continue to reap their fruits, the fruit of their labor as they are progressing.
Amen.
And the sky will just be the limit for the organization. I wish them well. I want them to not to be discouraged by whatever challenges that they may be facing now. It's all part of it. So later we'll have a better story to tell by the time we sit down and we are celebrating some years of being in existence.
Thank you very much for your time,
You're
sir.
welcome.
It's an honor speaking with you, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you,
for
sir.
having me.
Thank you for watching. I trust that you enjoyed that conversation. I mean, who wouldn't? That was Kabiyesi Oba, the Adeboruwa of Igbogbo Kingdom, Oba Semiudeen Kasali. And my name is Oiza. Of course, as always, ensure that you click the subscribe button below this video, like and share with friends, family, and colleagues. Don't forget to also head onto our social media pages, Instagram and Facebook at Cable Plus Property. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.